Hey, what's up, y'all? AWB, I'm back at it. Getting ready to get into it with these videos. So I have a couple shorts out that, you know, people wanting to see the whole story to those shorts. So go ahead and share some of these videos with you of where I got the shorts from. I'll wait for a couple of people to get in here, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Yeah. See who's in here. So what's up? Giving it a couple minutes, and then I'm go ahead and get started. I know it's probably pretty late for everybody. Well, not really. What time is it? Not too late. Yeah, it's not that late. Hopefully, I had to take down my last stream because I ran across some information of one of the auditors that I did a video on. So, I really didn't realize that I have to do a lot more background checks on the people who channels that I review, because the the information that I got about the last channel I was reviewing, one of the last channels I was reviewing, not Denver Metro Audits, but another one. It was I'm not gonna say the name, but anyway, so this guy has been convicted of some serious crimes against children. So I definitely don't condone that. I condemn it. So I had to just take down that entire stream. I don't support any of that. Um, but when people like that make this entire community look bad, because they automatically assume a lot of things about auditors, or like as they like to call us, as sometimes we call ourselves. I would say I'm more of a activist, or just regular citizen who chooses to exercise their rights in public. But what happens is a lot of these people are former or current criminals, which is crazy. I didn't realize that when I first started doing this, but it's one thing to be, a former criminal, or somebody who has done something wrong in their past, and now they're trying to be better people now. But then you have people who've done like just heinous things. So it just makes us look bad, and then I won't defend that. So people in the like, sometimes you have in the comment section, people be arguing these things, and I'm not going to argue against somebody doing something wicked, and you know, I don't support that. So I'm not gonna defend that. I'm not gonna defend it or go against it. It just, it puts me in, you know, awkward position because I, me personally, it's not like me personally, but if it's somebody who is doing the same thing that I'm doing, they kind of associate that with me, and I don't like that. I mean, but anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna start with this short clip of Cool Kid. What's up? What's up? Go ahead and get started with this short. Hey, Brady, what's up? What's up? Uh, just getting ready to start this stream. I was up early, um, pretty much taking care of some stuff, getting some fresh air. I wake up pretty early. I know it's late there, but you know it's early here, so I'm always up pretty, usually up pretty early. So take care of my morning routine. I like to get out, get some fresh air, exercise, and you know, get ready to set up to get my day started. So I'm gonna do this live stream. Then after the live stream, I'm gonna edit some content, and then I have some other things to take care of.
Testified in.
So this, let me. So this is CT News Channel, and the title of this video is Toronto Cop on Trial off after choking Black bus rider during violent arrest. So I always say the title of the video in the description. So if anybody wants to watch these videos without my commentary, or they don't like me stopping the video to say how, you know, my thoughts, share my thoughts on the video, they can go ahead and, you know, look up the video themselves. I don't understand why people feel like they have to comment instead of just going and watching the original video themselves. But anyway, that's why I always introduce it, and I also want people to support the channels. Like this is a news channel, but if it's like a auditor channel or somebody's personal channel, I like you to actually support the channel that I'm reviewing.
Court today that he was the victim of racism at the hands of police, all over a bus fare. CTV's Marella Fernandez has the story and a warning for you tonight. The footage you're about to see is disturbing.
A male refusing to get off.
December 2019, a Toronto bus driver put out a radio call for help. He said a passenger was told to get off the bus and wouldn't. That man is Chase Richards. He says he didn't get off because he'd paid his fare. Minutes later, 2 Toronto police detectives showed up. They were not in uniform. Richards testified Detective Christopher Hutchins.
So one thing, this is crazy that they weren't in uniform. So this man is just supposed to listen to other men who haven't. It don't look like they're identifying themselves. They look like, honestly, they look like thugs coming to check him on. They look like random people off the street trying to check another grown man, and which is absolutely ridiculous.
Seen in the plaid shirt said to the bus driver, "Is this the expletive that is causing the problem?" 20 seconds later, this happened. Richard says he was grabbed by the throat and held that way for about 30 seconds.
But it's certainly not something.
Look at, come on now. Look at that. Now, if he would have reacted like a normal person would have reacted, which is to defend themselves, they possibly could have ended his life. When look how they're looking. Do those look like police officers? No. One, they're not in uniform, and one, they're acting like thugs. They're not acting like law enforcement. They look like they're just bullies.
grabbed by the throat and
Look
held
at
that
this.
way for about 30 seconds.
And they say that this was not racially motivated, but come on now, that level of hate, just come on now, come on.
Certainly not something police trained to do, to grab somebody like that.
Richards was then pushed to the ground and handcuffed. After that, the detective sat down and put his feet on Richards' back.
If in fact he was resisting, the officer would have been down on the ground with him.
Hutchings is being tried for assault. He's been on the force for 24 years. Right now,
He's been doing that for 24 years. 24 years he's been doing that.
suspended with pay. Video from the
He got a paid vacation.
patrol car was also reviewed today in court.
I got choked. Okay. He physically choked me.
Richards was arrested for causing a disturbance and mischief. The charges were later withdrawn. He told the court today he felt like race was an issue from the start, saying, "I don't think if it was a young white male that entered on the back of the bus, he would go through all that ordeal."
It's absolutely awful the way that Black people need to always be thinking about how they are appearing in public space to other people.
Toronto police would not speak to a specific case, but did release a statement today saying they teach their officers to use proportionate force and do not teach neck restraint or chokeholds as a standard. This trial resumes in September. Lisa.
Okay. So y'all tell me, do y'all feel like race was involved in that situation? Because he didn't overtly just call him the N-word or something like that, which I guess that's the only thing that people associate racism with. They have to, if they're not using racial slurs, then they're not being racist, but which is absolutely ridiculous. But what do y'all think about that? Do you believe that race was not an issue here? And you can argue it and say, yeah, it might not be, because cops just have unchecked power and they just on ego trips. But the choking him and just, that was absolutely ridiculous. And honestly, it looked about the same size. So I doubt that. I see it was a power thing, and he just went to, exert his power or whatever. But after that, he sat there and rested his feet on his back. That, and then he got a paid vacation for that. Which is, it's crazy. They really get paid vacations for assaulting the public. So I'm glad you wrote that, Bridie. As far as the BLM movement goes, that organization, I don't support that organization. The idea or thought that most people have about that organization is, it's been warped because of who funds it and the agenda behind it. What the general people think that means is our lives matter. So because we have to say that because police and judges seem to act like it doesn't. But as far as the propaganda and that goes along with this movement, I don't agree with. That's why I don't necessarily support this organization, but the actual I can't even say the idea behind it, because the idea behind it is not really good either. The stance of people, what most people are saying when they say Black Lives Matter, is that it matters, and people need to, cops and the justice system needs to stop acting like it doesn't. Now, you know, this whole movement, I believe, is hijacked by the wrong people, and they're just pushing a certain agenda, honestly. But like, my thoughts as far as the organization is concerned, no, it's not right, because the real people, the people in the organization aren't really for the people. They're for an agenda. But the people who rally behind it are actually people who want to support the actual cause of what they think this organization represents. Right. It, you know, this, it was hijacked, but it was hijacked because they took funding from, you know, we already know the names and stuff like that, so I'm not even gonna get into that, because you know how YouTube is. That's why I want to go ahead and start like the Patreon and stuff like that, because what I really want to say about it, YouTube might not like, because I'm gonna have to name drop, and I'm gonna have to, you know, really get into it. But believe me, I don't fall for the BS, so I don't support that organization. Yeah, they hijacked that. They really hijacked the movement, and it's a terrible agenda hiding behind that name. And then that's why you have so many people going against it. And then the people that are going against it are actually going against the agenda behind that organization. They're not actually going against what those words stand for outside of that organization. You know, it's just an instrument of confusion. But those who really know what's going on, we know what's going on. So I got another story that I want to play here. So this is City News channel, and this is Toronto cop found guilty of assault and beating of Devontae Miller. This is another person so this happens a lot in Toronto. I thought Canada was a little bit better, but not really.
Good evening. We begin with the long-awaited court decision in the high-profile case of an off-duty Toronto police officer and his brother accused of beating a 19-year-old black male back in December 2016. In the 4-hour online verdict read by a judge, Michael Terrio, that police officer, was found guilty of assault, but both he and his brother were found not guilty of aggravated assault and attempting to obstruct justice. A warning first, some of the details can be graphic.
No justice! No justice!
A crowd of Devontae Miller supporters chanted outside the Oshawa courthouse while Justice Joseph DeLuca delivers his decision. Miller was 19 years old when he said he and his friends were walking down a residential street in Whitby in the early hours of the morning when the two brothers, Michael and Christian Terrio, who were at their father's home, came out to question them. That's when he testified he ran and eventually got beaten by Michael Terrio, who was punching, kicking, and hitting him with an object. Michael, the off-duty Toronto cop, and his younger brother Christian both pleaded not guilty to the charges of aggravated assault and obstruction of justice, saying that they pursued Miller because he was breaking into vehicles, including theirs, arguing that he attacked them and they were acting in self-defense. Devontae Miller testified that he suffered multiple severe injuries following the beating, among them that he was left blind in one eye and needed prosthetics. He had bruising, a fractured wrist, and nerve damage because of the tight handcuffs placed on him by Michael after Durham police responded and provided them. The judge considered two very different versions of what happened that night, noting throughout that there were inconsistencies in the stories presented by both sides, a major one regarding a pipe with blood splattered on it. In reading his judgment, though, the judge noted that there is need to consider the racialized context as he was meticulously combing through the case. Of Michael Theriault, he says, "On the whole, I'm satisfied that Michael Theriault's initial intent was not to conduct an arrest. It was likely to capture Mr. Miller and assault him. He was neither acting in self-defense nor in the course of a lawful arrest. As such, he committed an unlawful assault." He says, though, he's satisfied a pipe was used as a weapon. He, quote, "was not satisfied beyond a reasonable doubt that this assault caused the eye injury. Mr. Miller had already suffered the eye injury by that point in the incident. As such, Michael Theriault can only be found guilty of assault and not aggravated assault." And Justice DeLuca said it was unacceptable that Michael did not identify himself as a police officer. He also said that Miller and friends were most likely car hopping. But in assessing the then 19-year-old's credibility, he added, "I must keep in mind that as a young Black man, Mr. Miller may well have had many reasons for denying any wrongdoing, including distrust of law enforcement. This is understandable, especially in light of his injuries and the fact that he was initially arrested and later charged with a number of criminal offenses related to this incident." The judge said, though he found Christian Theriault was not completely open and forthright about what happened, he is not satisfied beyond a reasonable doubt that the evidence amounts to an attempt to obstruct justice. Now, this reading took over 4 hours long. It was over 60 pages. At one point, over 20,000 people were tuned into this live stream that was also attended by the Theriault brothers. They were seated side by side. They didn't really show a lot of emotions throughout the 4-hour period. Now, meanwhile, Michael Theriault is expected back in court on July 15th. He is currently, during that July 15th court date, they will be talking about sentencing. Now, right now, he is out on bail. He has been suspended with pay from the Toronto Police Services. And following that court decision, we also saw somewhat of an increased police presence here around Toronto Police headquarters, but it has seemed to clear since then.
Crazy. What do y'all think about that? What's up, Sean? Appreciate you, man. I mean, okay. So with this case, they're saying that he was breaking in. They're saying he was breaking into cars in the neighborhood and he was breaking into their car. Could be true, because why did he instantly run away when, you know, they came out? But as an officer, if you're not supposed to catch people to beat them up. You're supposed to catch them and get them into custody. You're not supposed to, you know, beat them up. So it's still assault. And even if he was breaking in cars, you shouldn't beat him up to the point where he's in the hospital. You know, but you at the same time, you can't tell people how to react when you like breaking in their stuff. So, but we don't know if that's the case of him breaking in. There's no evidence of that. And that, Brady, I didn't think about that. Yeah, if somebody comes at you with a pipe, whether they're, if they scream, hey, and they got a pipe in their hand, yeah, you might want to run just because I don't know the situation, because it could be one of those situations where you can just feel the hate towards you, and you just know that you need to get out that situation because it's not going to end up good. So you start running right away. So, still, but I'm saying, even if he was breaking into cars, allegedly, there's still no reason to beat somebody senseless with a pipe, especially obviously he didn't break in because they would have had evidence of something saying that he broke into the car. Just assuming that they're breaking into cars or he's breaking into a car, come on. They didn't show any pictures of the car being damaged, the window being broken, or the door being pried or anything like that. So the doors wasn't open or nothing. So, assuming that they breaking into cars because somebody broke into the car before that, like they'll use that, like, oh, we've had break-ins in the area, so any black person walking around in the morning is that person who broke into the cars. That's ridiculous. That can't fly. I mean, at that point, that could have turned out bad, because say this was somebody actually breaking into cars and you come at them with a steel pipe and they shoot you. Well, that's a dilemma right there, because I mean, that can go a lot of different ways, but it seems like they were approaching the situation to do harm to him. Exactly. They didn't say a lot about that. So that's why I say it was a lot of inconsistencies on both sides of this. So I can't really make a sound assessment of it, without having all the information of the story. That's why that's why I like videos. I like objective records, something that we can look at, see, and you don't have to worry about one side saying something and the other side saying another. You can actually see what's going on. This is another reason why it's always good to record. If either side of them recorded this situation, we would have had at least something to see, versus one person saying this, one person saying that. Okay.
I can talk because I was in
That objective record is always the best. But anyway, here in these videos that I'm getting ready to play now, there's objective record. So there's something to see. So we don't have to go with this person said this person said that. We have video to actually look at. So here we have It's a Crazy World. And the title of this video is Cops Get Outsmarted by 200 IQ Kids, which you don't even need 200 IQ to outsmart a cop. But kids nonetheless. And it's crazy when kids are smarter than adults, which a lot of times they are. You know, adults don't like to give kids credit, but a lot of kids are very smart, and a lot of times they're smarter than, you know, most adults. A lot of adults really aren't that smart, which is sad to say.
In the situation. What's your badge? What's your name?
Step back.
I already
Get out of here. Yeah, you can. Go. Go.
When's the last time we smoked weed?
I do not remember that.
Tonight? Who? I blew zeros, so now you're trying to think I smoked weed. That's what's going on. You can't do that, man. You really can't do that.
Absolutely, I can.
Is he allowed to do that?
Cops are supposed to protect and serve their community, right? And most of them are great, but some of them misuse their power, which is not cool and goes against fair policing. Not to mention, it takes a lot to handle a corrupt cop, even for an adult. But what happens when corrupt cops get destroyed by extraordinary teens? So in this video, let's check out how some clever teens pulled a fast one on the cops and taught them that no one is above the law. But first, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Our first case takes us to Newton, Iowa, where a 19-year-old gives the cops a run for their money. On August 28, 2022, Taven Galanakis was pulled over by police officer Nathan Winters for driving with his bright lights on. Despite him having a valid excuse, Officer Winters simply didn't care.
Hi there. How you doing, sir? Good, how are you? Good. My name's Officer Winters with the Newton Police Department. The reason I pulled you over is because you have your bright lights on. Yeah, I have a headlight out, so I just keep my brights on. Okay, well that's not legal. Oh, it isn't? No. Yeah, I turn on when a car comes by, I turn them off, but like, you did with me.
All right, y'all give me a second. The video's slowing down, so I'm gonna start it over. Not start the stream over. I'm gonna exit out and then open it and see if that kind of clears it up. So y'all give me a minute, because I want the video to play smooth. Okay. Starting over, maybe. Make sure. Okay. Make sure it's working. Maybe I need to cool down. Yeah, give me 1 second. All right, y'all let me know how the video is playing now. Share this.
Get out of here. Yeah, you can. Go. Go.
When's the last time we smoked weed?
I do not remember that.
Tonight?
Ooh.
Who?
Are supposed to protect and serve their community, right? And most of them are great, but some of them misuse their power, which is not cool and goes against fair policing. Not to mention, it takes a lot to handle a corrupt cop, even for an adult. But what happens when corrupt cops get destroyed by extraordinary teens? So in this video, let's check out how some clever teens pulled a fast one on the cops and taught them that no one is above the law. But first, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Our first case takes us to Newton, Iowa, where a 19-year-old gives the cops a run for their money. On August 28, 2022, Taven Galanakis was pulled over by police officer Nathan Winters for driving with his bright lights on. Despite him having a valid excuse, Officer Winters simply didn't care.
Hi there. How you doing, sir? Good, how are you? Good. My name's Officer Winters with the Newton Police Department. The reason I pulled you over is because you have your bright lights on.
Yeah, I have a headlight out, so I just keep my brights on.
Okay, well that's not legal.
Oh, it isn't?
No. Yeah, I turn on when a car comes by, I turn them off. But like, you did with me. Oh, you weren't close enough though. You were like, you were a while, yeah, you were a while back.
It has to be within 500 feet.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
And you're not supposed to have your brights on in the city limits.
My fault. My fault.
The officer then starts to question Galanakis, which seems like a routine procedure. However, some of the questions seem a bit too weird.
You got your license, registration, insurance with you?
Yeah, I got you.
Is this your car?
Yeah.
Okay. Where are you headed?
Back home.
Where's home?
It's right down.
Okay. Are you new to town or something?
No.
Where?
That Galanakis had been drinking. By the way, do these look like bloodshot eyes to you? We didn't think so either. When questioned, Galanakis immediately denied, but despite his insistence that he was sober, Winters kept doubting him. He further asked Galanakis about his bloodshot eyes and sluggish movements, to which the teenager smartly suggested the idea of a breathalyzer test to put the entire matter to rest, but it looks like Winters didn't want to let him off the hook so easily.
How much have you had to drink tonight?
None.
What do you mean none?
I've had nothing to drink.
Okay. Why would your eyes be watery and bloodshot? I don't want to blow you.
Pause.
We'll probably get there.
They go back and forth for a while, and then the teen insists again that he is not drunk, but the cop counters with the same argument about his movements and the smell of alcohol coming.
How is the video playing, y'all? Is it choppy or is it smooth? I can't really tell. I want to know before I continue with the video. Put a 1 if it's choppy, put a 2. I mean, put a 1 if it's smooth, put a 2 if it's kind of choppy. Oh, you said it's okay? Brady says lagging a little bit. Yeah, that's why it's lagging. Sean said it was good. All right, I'm gonna keep playing.
From him.
I've had nothing to drink.
Okay. So your movements in the car with you fumbling over the registration?
Yep.
Kind of say otherwise. So does the odor of alcohol coming from your person.
Great. Let's do a test and
We'll get to the test.
I can't wait.
What's happening with Galanakis is not an isolated incident, but a reality faced by far too many people. Whether it's through excessive force, unwarranted searches, or baseless arrests, corrupt cops like Winters often use their authority to intimidate and control others, something our teen here is too well aware of as he pulls out his phone to make a video, mocking the entire situation.
So what happens if, nothing pops up? Do you get in trouble?
No. Why would I get in trouble?
Because you think I'm drinking, but I'm not drinking.
I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
All right, let's find out real quick.
I'm not going to get in trouble for doing what I'm supposed to do.
Can I record it?
Yeah, absolutely.
What's your name?
My name's Officer Winters.
So Officer Winters thinks I'm drinking tonight. We're about to do a test, and he's going to find out I had nothing to drink. He's going to look stupid. Ain't that right? I've had nothing to drink. 0. And we're about to find out.
Officer Winters then made Galanakis go through a bunch of field sobriety tests, but still didn't use a breathalyzer.
I'm going to have you stand with your heels and toes together, with your arms down to your side. Okay? I'm going to check your eyes.
Cool.
Okay? What I want you to do is follow my finger with your eyes and your eyes only, and do not move your head, okay?
Yep.
See my finger clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Hold on, y'all. I want this to be smooth, so let me figure out something real quick. Yeah. Okay. You're right, Brady. This, this is absolutely ridiculous. That's why I want to make sure it's playing smooth and everything is not lagging and stuff like that. Maybe I got too many tabs open. I think I got too many tabs open. Let me close some of these. Close a lot of these tabs I have open. Except the ones that I need. Okay. Let me try something. So again, I'm gonna exit out this I'm gonna exit out this program, then restart it. So y'all bear with me. I'm not gonna create a new stream or nothing like that. Y'all just hold on real quick. We back. Now we're gonna try this again.
Just think I'm drinking tonight. We're about to do a test, and he's gonna find out I had nothing to drink. He's gonna look stupid. Ain't that right? I've had nothing to drink.
Y'all tell me now. Y'all tell me now how the video is playing.
And we're about to find out.
Officer Winters then made Galanakis go through a bunch of field sobriety tests, but still didn't use a breathalyzer.
I'm going to have you stand with your heels and toes together, with your arms down your side. Okay? I'm going to check your eyes. Cool. Okay? What I want you to do is follow my finger with your eyes and your eyes only, and do not move your head, okay?
Yep.
See my finger clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so from this position, you're going to take 9 heel-to-toe steps, touching heel to toe each time, keeping your arms down to your side, okay?
Gotcha.
It's going to
This goes on for quite a while, during which Galanakis asks for a breathalyzer test for the 3rd and 4th time. He even goads the cop about false accusations.
Y'all know how I feel about these field sobriety tests. I just don't see how that determines if somebody is intoxicated versus if they just have bad equilibrium or they don't have good peripheral vision, so they have to turn. Like it just doesn't make. People could fail these tests without being drunk, so I don't see how that's a indication that somebody is drunk. If you can fail a test whether you're sober or not, how does that determine if you're intoxicated or not? That I don't know. That doesn't make sense. Why not just have him do the breathalyzer like he asked? But we know why, because they want to make you dance and do all this BS for nothing. I'm not doing all these. I don't care what I'm not doing all. I'm not performing for you to determine that from your all of this is subjective. So they get to determine through their own perception if you are intoxicated or not. So it's really no point in doing the test, because even if you quote unquote pass the test, then it doesn't matter, because they might say, oh, well, I still don't feel like you did it the right way because you took one, you're off balance on one step, or you turn your head slightly when we did the pin, follow the pin trick, which most people, how can you do a test that normally, if normally how you look at things as a human being, if something is here, you're gonna follow it like that. That's what most people do. That's normal. So you want somebody to not be normal, and you're gonna determine if they're normal by giving them an abnormal test. They're telling you to not move your eyes, but follow the pen. So you're like this. That's not normal. Normal is looking. And then in that test, you can see his eyes aren't bloodshot. His eyes are actually very clear white. Like my eyes aren't clear white like that, but I'm sober. It really doesn't make sense. Anybody can say your eyes are bloodshot or they're discut or whatever. The test doesn't make sense. Then you have him at nighttime on a wet road. It's BS.
Come on, man, it's too easy.
He got him in the rain doing this. You out your mind. I'm not finna be in the rain. And then he talking about your eyes are glossy when it's raining outside and rain is getting into his eyes. Like, come on.
Let's do the breath now. 2 for 2. Again, how many false accusations you got? 0. It's about to be your first. We'll see.
We'll see. It's obviously he not. Come on now. He's too coherent for him to. Come on. The only reason that he can do this test easily with no problem is because he's an athlete. Most people can't do this.
And make sure. Blow me too, man. Give me a little blow. I will. Blow zeros. I will here in a minute.
This is stupid.
Right. Left. Right. Right. Left.
After performing a variety of field sobriety tests, the officer eventually brought out a breathalyzer gadget, but the outcome was not what he had anticipated.
All right.
He could have just did that the whole time. That's what I don't get. You could have did that from the beginning, but you got him out here in the rain just to. No, they're doing that on purpose. It's no other reason. It's not. There's no other reason. Why wouldn't you have him do that first? They should do the breathalyzer first and then the field sobriety test to see how impaired they are, if they actually are impaired. And that's how they should determine it. Not do the field, not have him do all these pony tricks and circus tricks, dance monkey. That's pretty much what it is. And then they have you blow up the breathalyzer and you blow 0. Not 0.0010. Come on, man. Now the breathalyzer don't work. Oh, but it'll work if come on, man. They will say it might be malfunctioning if you blow 0, but if you blow something, they don't say it's malfunctioning there.
What I want you to do is make a tight seal around this and blow outwards like you're blowing up a balloon, okay? Okay, you can relax.
Despite the device displaying a 0, Winters proceeded to recite Galanakis his Miranda rights. Looks like the result was not what the officer was expecting, so he quickly changed his line of questioning. But Galanakis quickly caught on to what was happening as soon as the cop asked his next question.
When's the last time we smoked weed?
I do not remember that.
Tonight?
No.
Okay, well, I think it's tonight.
I've had no weed tonight. Why do you think it's tonight? Why do you think I smoked? I blew 0, so now you're trying to think I smoked weed. That's what's going on. You can't do that, man. You really can't do that.
Absolutely, I can.
Is he allowed to do that? Yes, he is. So I blow 0 and you smoke drugs now.
It must have been a bit unnerving for Galanakis when the cop falsely accused him of smoking weed since the breathalyzer test showed 0, but props him for standing his ground even though the officer repeatedly kept accusing him of drug use and other indicators, stating that they were enough for him to press charges.
I put zeros. You think I'm on drugs? That's ridiculous. I would.
Absolutely ridiculous.
During my field sobriety, it is indicative of impairment.
Look, he can't even get his lie straight.
Let's be honest. I'm being honest.
He can't even get his lie straight. They be trying to think of lies so fast that he can't even get it straight right here. Just fast talking lies. Like
during my field sobriety, it is indicative. During my field sobriety,
they out there in the rain for no reason. How? What are you out there? Come on, man. Y'all sitting out there in the rain. You know he's not drunk. Come on, man. You know he's not drunk. The car don't smell like weed because he wasn't smoking weed. But you say that it feel like you think he was smoking weed later after the fact that you realized that he wasn't drunk. It's like they're just picking stuff. Then you brought in more resources. This other officer to, thank you. You brought in this other officer to waste his time, got him in the rain too. Like, this is the level of incompetence that just shows how badly they pick their officers. And how are they not doing tests to make sure that these officers are at least halfway competent?
it is indicative of impairment. So let's be honest. I'm being honest. You smoked some weed at your friend's house? No. You hit a pin? Nope. Okay. Why is your field sobriety so poor? What? Why is your field sobriety so poor?
I tried to get him to incriminate himself. Like all type of stuff. Like now you're gonna try to get him to incriminate himself. Get out of here. And then now he's trying to paint the picture on the body cam because he knows he's on body cam. Oh, why are you so lethargic? What kind of question is that? Why are you so this? Why did you fail the test? And you can see his face like he can't believe it, but it's because it's the setup. It's all the setup. This is all the setup. And the fact that this cop is doing this tells you that he doesn't need to be on the force. He doesn't need to be around the public because all he's trying to do is ruin the lives of other people. He's not. Who is being protected and served here? Who is being protected and served here? Nobody. This is not helping the community. This is going to cost the community because this kid is going to sue him.
Why are you so lethargic and slow moving and speaking with a slurred speech? And your eyes are watery and your eyes are bloodshot. You know why they're watery? Right because we're in rain right now. It doesn't affect them in the car or in my car. Well, I don't know what you're seeing because I can't even see my eyes. No weed. I don't smoke weed. I play college football.
That was funny. I don't know what you said because I can't see my eyes. You know, but stuff like that pisses the cop off even more.
It doesn't affect them in the car or in my car. Well, I don't know what you're seeing because I can't even see my eyes. No weed. I don't smoke weed. I play college football. I told you that. We get tested every Friday. Okay. Don't smoke weed. Today's Saturday. Okay. It's 30 days. We say it's on your for 30 days. So if I did a test next week, I'd be off the football team.
He said, I can't smoke weed because I play college football and we get tested every Friday. The cop says it's Saturday. That's the cop's response to him, to what he just said. You know, this is why I love objective records, because having this played in court, like, come on.
Come on. Come on. I want that video too. Okay, but I think you're impaired. I think you're under the influence. You think I'm impaired? Yes. Well, I'm not. Okay.
Bit of a smartass, ain't he? The officers then asked Galanakis for a drug evaluation test, to which a confident Galanakis happily complied to get out of this mess.
Do you want to do a drug recognition evaluation or a drug influence evaluation? What's that?
There's an officer who checks your blood pressure, does a whole bunch of tests.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Galanakis was arrested and taken to the police station. Once there, they made him take yet another bunch of sobriety tests, but this time, it also included a test to check if he had any drugs in his system.
So now he's doing the same test over and over again. Stupid.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
This is just don't move, don't talk. It's like a blood pressure cuff at like the doctor's office. It'll get a little tight. It shouldn't hurt.
So, oh my goodness, man. You know, I think this cop was just jealous of the kid for some reason. And, you know, that's why they say cops are the kids who get bullied in school. And then, you know, they decide that they're gonna become the bullies. This kid was probably the representation of who he wanted to be, or who got all the attention in school, and he didn't get it. So now he's mad and he's gonna try to take it out all on this kid, even though this kid has nothing to do with his life or anything that happened in his life. I don't see any other reason. Why would you do this to this kid for no? What? I think he just looked at him and was mad. Like, oh. This kid is probably who the girl that he liked. This is the girl who he liked in school or wherever in life, probably chose this kid who is the athlete, and he's just upset about that, and he's gonna take it out on this kid or something. I just don't get it.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
This is just don't move, don't talk. It's like a blood pressure cuff at like the doctor's office. It'll get a little tight. It shouldn't hurt or nothing. Just go to relax your elbow. Just rub it.
Well, what do you know? Of course, those tests came out to be negative as well after the officer responsible for evaluating the drug informed Galanakis that he could now go home.
We're going home tonight, okay? I have no evidence or no information to suggest that you're under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Thank you.
Galanakis had just had a terrible night, and although he wanted to go home and forget about it, one thing stopped him: the officer who had ruined his night. Galanakis couldn't just leave without speaking to him now, could he?
Hey buddy, what's going on? So I just want to know.
Wow, that's the guy.
How does it feel?
Get out of here.
Galanakis couldn't just leave without speaking.
Yeah, I get it now. I get it now. It all makes, once you see him, it makes sense now.
To him now, could he?
Hey buddy, what's going on? So I just want to know.
The kid represents who this cop wants to be, so he's just wow. It all makes sense once you see him. It all makes sense.
So
Get out of here. Come on, man.
How does it feel? How does it feel for what? Remember I told you when you first pulled me over?
I had nothing to drink. He's gonna look stupid.
You drink alcohol. Turns out I'm not. Okay. Really dumb decision, buddy. I'm really disappointed in how you can't let the drive.
I based my decision on your field sobriety test.
Was it really failed though? It was pouring outside. It was terrible Sunday.
Right.
Okay, I said, go right away.
But there's also steps that I have to go through.
Did you really thought I was drunk?
Even in the wrong, the officer refused to admit his fault and blamed it on the law and procedures. Well, Galanakis certainly got the last laugh that night. And you know what's even better? He decided to sue the PD for falsely arresting him, violating his civil rights, and not training their staff properly. Galinaki's really made Officer Winters work for it, huh? But let's face it, some cops just can't resist flexing their power. And that's what the next case starring Michael Cicchini is all about.
Hold on. Before we get into this next story, what y'all got to say about this, man? This guy, for one, for one, he needs to get a uniform that fits him. That's the first thing. Get a uniform that fits. For two, I'm thinking he was jealous of that of the kid. The only time men act like that is when they jealous. Or they're either jealous or they're completely tyrannical, but they're usually completely tyrannical because they're jealous. Right. There you go. FAQ. There you go. But yeah, this. So he made that kid stand out in the rain. He just wanted to ruin this night for no reason. Kid didn't do nothing to him. It's amazing, man. Crazy. It's crazy, man. I just don't understand. Why would you go through that? Why would you even put yourself in that? Not only do you got him out in the rain, you standing out in the rain, and you bring another officer to come stand out in the rain when you know that he's sober, you know that he not under, you know that he's not impaired. He passed all the tests. He took the breathalyzer. Then he passed the test again, and this cop doesn't realize that either one, you just don't know what you're talking about, or you're incompetent. Because how did you think he failed the test, but when you brought him into the station, nobody else considered that? You don't take the consideration that nobody else says that he failed the test, even though he didn't fail the test, but you think he failed the test. But other people test him and he passed the test, but you assume he failed the test. Like, it makes no sense. Like, I'm trying to make it like fit, but none of it makes sense. None of this makes sense other than the fact that he wanted to just harass this kid and be a tyrant. That's it. But let's get into the next one.
September 17th, 2022, ex-Bay City's chief of police, Michael Cicchini, decided to threaten the wrong kids. Cicchini started giving some kids a hard time for making too much noise. He said they were causing disturbance and disrupting the peace. But Parker Weiland and Travis Cram were simply goofing around on their birdie scooters and were just about to show Cicchini that they knew the law as good as anyone.
I'm gonna beat your ass, and then I'm gonna take you to jail.
What? What'd I do?
Get out of here.
I didn't even do nothing.
Yeah, you did.
What'd I
Go.
do? What'd I do?
Go.
That battery?
Get out of here. It's disturbing the peace.
You hit me because of disturbing the
Yeah,
peace.
it's a crime.
So he admitted on camera that he committed a crime. Wow, that's. How are you this upset? You mad at kids outside being outside? Like, you again, I think this man is jealous of kids for I don't know what it is. I guess being youthful and free or something. Like, what are you so mad about?
Need to go.
From the very get-go, this video stands for everything that's wrong with today's policing and how some corrupt officers like Cicchini abuse their power left, right, and center. Not only did he come out guns blazing, threatening the kid with a beatdown and sending him to jail, but suddenly out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, I didn't say that. So threatening to beat somebody up. If somebody threatens to beat you up and they're walking towards you with a weapon, you can defend yourself. So you don't have to wait until they actually follow through with the threat, because I will beat your ass is a threat. you know, that's if somebody says I'm getting ready to, I'm gonna beat you up or I'm gonna beat your ass, and they walking towards me with aggression and a weapon, I'm probably not gonna run away if it's somebody who looks like this. So at that point, I'm in fight mode. So usually, you know, I'm not the biggest guy in the world. So I have to usually, I'm the one who usually has to attack first, you know, because I can't afford to wait for them to attack me. And then, you know, I usually can't wait for that. So I have to be the first one. So here I'm taking off on him because you just saying you're a cop doesn't, you're not showing me no badge. You just, cops think that they can just say, oh, I'm a cop, and people just supposed to know, just supposed to believe that off rip because they're so used to saying it while they're in uniform. They forget that once they take the uniform off, that authority doesn't, you know, it doesn't, it doesn't, they don't carry the same authority if they don't have the uniform on or the clown costume.
Nowhere jabs his flashlight into one of the teen's chests. Despite the unexpected assault, Cram remains cool and confidently states that Cecchini has committed battery, to which the chief of police replied that he had every right to do as Cram was disturbing the peace and committing a crime. However, Cram argued that apart from him, no one else was disturbed, so they didn't see how they were breaking the law.
How did I disturb me? I didn't see anyone else wake up. You disturbed my peace. Believe you just committed battery. No. Yes. You hit me with a flashlight. Yeah, you did. Get out of here. How is that right? Believe me. Battery, right? Mm-hmm. Look out.
Notice how Cecchini tried to intimidate Cram by flashing lights on his face. Cram quickly caught on to what kind of a person he was dealing with and decided to call the cops. But then, Cecchini whipped out his badge and showed him, probably trying to scare him and his friend with his authority. Well, that totally backfired, didn't it? In fact, the teens even ridiculed him, saying that's not how things work. But then Cecchini tried to pull another unexpected move.
Call the cops, bro. You committed battery. I can assault you all I want. You're kissing me? Assault me. You want to make out? I'll make out with you right now. I swing both ways, bro. Go ahead.
What?
Back up.
I'm not gonna touch you. I know
Get
better.
out of his face.
I know better, bro.
Hey,
What is
can
he
you
doing
send
to
a
you?
unit down here? I've got 3 hooligans that need.
That kid is crazy. What? Hold on. Let me. What did he say? This man, this kid said, I'll swing both ways. I'll make out with you right now. This cop probably thought about that.
But then Cecchini tried to pull another unexpected move.
Call the cops, bro. You committed battery. I can assault you all I want.
back
You're
up.
kissing me? Assault me. You want to make out? I'll make out with you right now. I swing both ways, bro. Go ahead. Assault me.
Back
I'm not
up.
gonna touch you. I'm not gonna touch you. I know
Get
better.
out of his face.
I know better, bro.
Hey,
What is
can
he
you
doing
send
to
a
you?
unit down here? I've got 3 hooligans that need to go.
Hooligans, you hit me with a flashlight.
I'm at 9th Street in front of River's Edge.
Step it up.
You can do whatever you want. Step it up.
I'm not gonna fight you,
Fine.
dude.
Backed into a corner with teens who clearly know the law and its consequences better than him, Cecchini tried to stir up some drama, goading Cram in hopes that the teen would take the bait and make a move on him. Why? So he can change the narrative when the cops show up, but guess what? Those boys were way too sharp to fall for his little schemes. Luckily, the whole thing was caught on camera. But when the
I still think even if he would have defended himself when he first walked up, I still think the officer would have been, well, he was in the wrong from the jump, but I don't think the kid would have gotten in trouble if he would actually defended himself from this officer. Because one, you just got a random person, you know, that this could be a random crazy person walking up saying, I'm going to beat you up, and walk up and hit you with a flashlight. Like, that's not normal.
police showed up, Cecchini's courage suddenly disappeared. He told them that he was just chilling at home when he heard all the noise and the boys were messing around and breaking the traffic cones. He claimed that he had already told them to leave, but when one of them allegedly threatened him, he felt like he had to deal with them himself.
I'm talking to him. No, you're not. Let him talk first. Let him talk. Okay. Yeah. Disturbing the peace. Both of them squealing their wheels at me.
He's talking.
Okay. They come here. They hit the cone. They're messing around here around this new monument. It went on for about 5 minutes. Okay. I'd had enough. I'm upstairs.
You had
All
enough.
right. He challenged me to fight and dared me to come down. Okay. I came down. He stood off on me, and I did a pectoral jab with my flashlight. Okay. Okay. My side first.
You did a pectoral jab with your flashlight. What? You mean you hit him with your flashlight? That's what you did? And why are you if a kid say you come down here and you challenge, come on, man. You taking kids serious to where I don't believe you taking kids serious to where they got you that pressed to where you got to come and show them that you're a man. And like, how weak are you if you got to prove yourself to kids?
Right. So,
Hold on. Yes, you do. Just wait.
I'll cut a supplement. 2 charges right here.
Later, Cecchini decides to give his version of events to the cops. But surprise, surprise, he conveniently leaves out a few key details and twists the story just a little. According to him, Cram threw insults left and right, pushing his buttons. So Cecchini says he just gave him a little tap with his flashlight. Oh, and he also claimed that he had identified himself right away as the chief of police.
No, he didn't. You walking down with a police shirt doesn't mean you police. It means you got a police shirt on. Like, that's all it means. They think announcing themselves is walking down there with their authoritative posture, and a police shirt means that you are identifying yourself as police. No, that's not how it works. You just have on a police shirt. Anybody can get a police shirt. Anybody can actually get a police uniform. But it's the actual authentic badge that ties everything together. But you walking up on me with a police shirt at nighttime, like acting like this, come on, man. Ridiculous.
But come on, let's be real. That's not exactly how the whole thing played out, was it?
5 minutes or so of the screeching tires from the birds, you know, and the hoot of the screeching tires from the birds.
Screeching tires from the birds. What is that? What does that mean, y'all? Does anybody know what screeching tires from the birds means? That's the first time I've heard that. Is that a saying or a phrase, or screeching tires from the birds? They don't have bikes or nothing, so I'm sure. What is he talking about?
You know, and the hooting and hollering down here.
So you're mad that they're outside doing outside activities, or using outside voice, or like what is he really mad about? I just don't get this, man. This is crazy.
So I go out onto my balcony and I look down, and they're just they're driving, and the guy in the long hair intentionally drives his scooter into the barricade. And I go,
Oh,
hey,
you
cut
got
it out.
scooter.
Cut your shit. So you're up in the apartment. I'm up in my apartment. I forget what he says of me. I can do whatever I want.
So he bumps into the traffic cone, and this pissed him off enough to come out of his, and he trying to tell some kids that aren't his kids what to do. I don't know why you think you can do that, but you're trying to tell them something and they not listening to you, and what you're just gonna come down there and show them who's boss.
I go, you need to get out of here, something to that effect. And
You hit the barrel or the bar?
hit the barrel right there, the middle barrel. come down, open the door, tell him to leave, get out of here. Then I walk across the little plaza here to the curb area. He walks towards me, and the confrontation begins.
Did he, when you were upstairs, did he tell you that he was going to kick your?
Something with that, yeah. He said that, yeah. I felt that he was hostile towards me, so I did how I was taught.
You felt that he was hostile towards you, so you came all the way down there from your apartment, approached him, and hit him with a flashlight. You felt like he was hostile towards you, so you came all the way from your balcony through your house, came all the way down your apartment complex, walked all the way across this area up to him, and hit him with a flashlight, and got in his face. So that's what you do when you feel like somebody's hostile towards you? What? He doesn't know how crazy just that part is, but everything else is crazy. But that whole scenario, and if you picture that, come on, that's crazy.
Back in the day, it was a pectoral, large muscle mass jab, right?
With your hand?
With my butt of my flashlight, calling me various names such as bald-headed.
Did he know you were a police officer?
I did identify myself.
When?
Showed him my badge.
Prior to this altercation?
I may have when I was walking up.
And that's, ladies and gentlemen, is how you lie with a straight face on.
Lying.
Bravo, officer. Bravo. Well, good news. Those two teens got their chance to set the record straight too, and they told the truth about how things actually transpired. Whelan spilled all the beans, giving the cops the lowdown on how it was Cecchini first who started yelling at them from his balcony just because they were cruising around on their scooters, having fun as teens do. Talk about a twist in the tale, huh?
So we were just riding around on bird scooters, you know, like teenagers do. And then he came up here. I'm 19. Okay. And he hit the cone right here and knocked it over. What cone? I think it was the one with the gray on it. Okay. Middle one? Yeah, and knocked it over, and then he started yelling, and he threatened him first. So he was defending himself, like against him. How did he threaten him? I don't remember exactly what he said, okay, but he antagonized him, so he was defending himself. Okay. He was up there up at the top, okay, and he was like, "I'll come down there and beat your ass." Travis was standing right there, didn't say a single word, and like on the road, and he came up and hit him. I don't know if it was like in the chest or the rib cage, but he hit him with the flashlight and then started shining it in his eyes. Okay. And he was also getting in his face, telling him to swing.
In the meanwhile, another cop starts to grill Cram about what went down, and looks like Cram's story too was way different than Cecchini's version.
Right? I was riding. You know how like when you press the brake, the back wheel locks up and it makes a squeaking noise, right? You can drift when you do that. It's kind of fun, right? I get it's kind of late and stuff, right?
Oh.
But he's up there. He goes, "Hey, big shot, you want to go?" Right? Because he said, "Why don't you keep it down?" I said, "I'm not doing nothing wrong." He goes, "Hey, big shot, you want to go?" Right? And I stood right here. I said, "What's up?" He walks up to me and like, "I'm not gonna hit you, I promise." He goes like that and jabs me like right here in the ribs with the flashlight. And then he said he felt threatened. My hands were at my sides. I don't know. I didn't swing at him. I didn't pick up.
What did you do when he walked down?
I just stood there. I said, "What's up?" Like, I didn't know who he was. He was his badge. I think he was a cop. I'm not gonna swing at a cop. You know, I have more respect for him. He has authority over me. He's better than me. I know he's.
So he hits you in the stomach with a flashlight.
Like the rib cage, not the stomach, bro.
Then what?
And then that's like it. He was like threatening me to swing on him. He wanted me to swing on him, right?
How?
Like he would get out. He was like, "I'm not close to you, but like say this is my face, this is his face." He was like threatening, like, "Swing on me, bro. Swing on me. Swing on me."
Judging by Cecchini's actions and hearing the teen about the whole situation, it doesn't take any genius to figure out who was right and who was telling lies here. Cecchini wanted to charge the two teens for what happened, but after the truth came out, it was Cecchini who ended up on the wrong side of the law. When someone finally called him out and filed a complaint, Cecchini had to announce his retirement and then was charged by the state's attorney general's office with misdemeanor assault and battery for jabbing Cram with the flashlight. Later, a federal lawsuit was also filed by Cram. The suit alleges Cecchini violated Cram's 4th and 14th Amendment rights and contains 3 counts of excessive force and illegal seizure, violation of substantive due process, and fabrication of false evidence. As per the latest update, the federal lawsuit was settled for a sum of $90,000. Cecchini thought he could get away with it just because of his fancy job title. But guess what? Karma had it coming. Much respect to Cram for not losing his cool or hitting back at him, because trust me folks, not a lot of people would have conducted themselves in the same manner like these teens did. Finishing things off about corrupt cops getting their due, the following story is even better as a 15-year-old manages to outsmart the cops, eventually getting them fired.
Outside. You're violating my 4th Amendment.
Hey, you guys cannot come in here without a search
warrant.
warrant. I'm videoing.
No.
He can talk. No, I can talk because I was in the situation. What's your badge? What's your name?
Step back.
I'm not.
Look, he
I'm
just
not
touched me. You can record all you want, but you're stepping back right now.
This guy. Hey, don't touch me. Stop harassing me.
The incident took place on September 29th, 2019. Because trust me folks, not a lot of people would have excessive force and illegal seizure, violation of much respect to Cram for not losing his cool or hitting back at him. Because trust me folks, not a lot of people would have conducted themselves in the same manner like these teens did. Finishing things off about corrupt cops getting their due, the following story is even better as a 15-year-old manages to outsmart the cops, eventually getting them fired.
Outside. You're violating my 4th Amendment.
Hey, you guys cannot come in here without.
This one was crazy. GGA, what's up? Claudette, what's up? What's up? Yeah, I wish I don't know what's going on, why it's having so much lag with the video. But I don't want to end this stream. I might not even be able to use this, but it's all good.
Search warrant. Get the phone.
I'm videoing.
This one was crazy, by the way. So all of this is another incident where cops escalated a situation that had nothing to do with anything. No victim, victimless crimes. This victimless crime that wasn't even a crime. But if it was actually a crime, it would be a victimless crime. But nothing happened here. But they escalated to breaking in somebody's house, pulling them out and arresting them, and then threatening a kid. Like, the way that they can escalate the most mundane scenarios tells me that these people cannot handle anything other than that. If they handle situations that are this low on a scale of stress or danger or anything like that, so low, and they escalate so high, imagine when it's a high level situation. How would they be able to conduct themselves when they can't even process this situation?
No. He can talk. No, I can talk because I was in the situation. What's your badge? What's your name?
Step back.
I'm not.
Look, he just touched me. You can record all you want, but you're stepping back right now.
This guy. Hey, don't touch me. Stop harassing me.
What is he so amped up for? Nothing has happened here. Why is he so amped up and on edge? Nothing has happened.
The incident.
The only thing that's happened is that they have broken in somebody's house, pulled the man out of his own dwelling, his own kingdom.
Took place on September 29th, 2019, when a few Park City, Utah cops tried to arrest Michael Franchek. But little did they know that his son was pretty smart and knew his constitutional rights all too well. According to the 911 call, this whole thing started with Franchek's son, Jack, riding around on his noisy gas-powered bike and annoying the neighbors in the process. The neighbors got really ticked off and threatened him, so Jack's dad stepped in and got into a verbal altercation with one of the neighbors. Apparently, another neighbor called the cops, saying that Jack's dad had a weapon in his pants. When the police got there, they tried to talk to Franchek, but he refused to leave his house or answer their questions.
Can I help you?
Hello, are you Michael?
Hi, can I help you with something?
Yeah, we're here about an
your name?
Officer Rodriguez.
First name?
Jim.
Jim, how are you, Jim? And your name, please?
Sure.
Sorry, badge number? What's that? Badge number, please?
let's go ahead and talk about the incident that you had out here a few minutes ago.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Step down here for me.
Y'all saw how you was
No,
hesitant to shake his seat?
And that's when things got physical.
No. He shouldn't have even stepped outside. So this was the issue. He shouldn't have ever stepped outside to begin with. But he went out with tremendous respect. He stepped out to shake his hand, thought he was going to be dealing with rational, rational men, not these guys. So he was one of those people who I respect law enforcement, and they're there to help us, and these guys are they're mostly good guys, and that's what he thought. That's what he thought until today.
You just came into my house without a warrant. You're running away. I'm not running away from you. You just did. Is there any gun in your back pocket? I just want to make sure we're safe. We're safe. Okay.
Officers, they break into somebody's house and try to kidnap him, and they're wondering about if they're safe. They're the ones with guns, bulletproof vests, backup. Come on now, and a network of other people who are coming with the same thing, and they're talking about they're worried about if they're safe.
I'm not coming outside. Can we talk right here? Sure we can. Jack, come here, record this. Come on outside. Record this. Come outside. Jack, record this. Grab my phone and record this. Whoa, I'm injured. Okay, cooperate. I am cooperating. You're violating my Fourth Amendment right. Oh, stop. Outside. You're violating my Fourth Amendment right. You guys cannot come in here without a search warrant.
Franchek tried to go inside and shut the door before the officers could grab him, but they managed to force their way in and tried to apprehend him. He even called out the officers for violating his Fourth Amendment rights, but the officers paid no heed and were determined to just take him outside. A helpless Franchek called for his 15-year-old son Jack to come and film the entire altercation, which he did. But then the cops tried to further escalate the matter by shooting the father with a taser gun to pull him outside.
I'm not fighting you. I'm not fighting you. Outside now. Walk outside. Okay.
Wow.
I didn't do anything.
This is a kidnapping. This is kidnapping. This is crazy. They kidnapped him in front of his son. And this whole situation, it wasn't even a crime that they were investigating. They weren't investigating a crime. They were investigating a incident where a neighbor said a kid was riding on a scooter. Like they basically are investigating a argument. And it turned into them kidnapping this man from his own house, tasing him. They kidnapped him, tased him, broke into his house. It's all bad. All bad.
Tased me for no reason. What are you doing? Stop. What am I being detained for? Outside. What am I being detained for? Just stop resisting. I'm not resisting.
Stop resisting to us kidnapping you for no. Imagine if you were being kidnapped and the kidnapper says, "Stop resisting. Stop resisting me kidnapping you from your house."
I'm not resisting. No, don't take his phone. Don't take his phone. Don't take his phone. I'm good. I've chilled the whole time. I haven't done anything. Relax. I haven't resisted.
Officer,
I just talked to you. I am behind my back.
Crazy.
This is unbelievable.
No, I know.
This is
They walked in the house without a search warrant.
This is unbelievable. Okay. It's all on film. Get my camera.
It's on my phone too.
It's on my phone. The whole thing is on film. The whole thing is on film. Jack, follow me and record. Follow me and record.
Give us space.
I'm not.
Give us space.
Okay. What's your space? What's your space?
Jack, record the whole film.
That's a good. See, this kid is on point. He's asking, "What is your space?" You just saying, "Give me space, give me space." Well, what is your space? How much space do you need? From a kid, you know. And this is a kid. You can tell this is a kid. He hasn't even gone fully through puberty. Like, come on, man.
Does this look like enough space?
After being tasered multiple times, the cops dragged Franchek outside the house, ignoring his plea as to why he was being detained, and put him in handcuffs. Thankfully, Jack continued to record the entire situation even after one of the officers tried to grab the phone out of his hand. He was surprisingly calm for a 15-year-old in such a situation, and at one point even reassured his father to remain calm, and that he knew what was happening was unbelievable. Following his father's instructions, he continued to record the cops as Franchek was escorted out of the house to the police cruiser.
I didn't resist. I know. I didn't do it. You know. See, he acknowledged that I didn't resist, Jack.
Yeah, I have it on video.
I didn't resist.
Well, we asked you to stop, right?
I didn't do anything against your instructions. This guy came into my house without a warrant, without any probable cause.
Let me just talk for a second.
I said, I don't know anything, and he tackled me in my house.
He told you to stop, right?
He did not say anything of the sort.
Officer.
It doesn't matter if he did tell him to stop or not. They weren't. No crime has happened. No crime has happened. Even their call to this house was not for a crime. It was not for. It was somebody got mad and they had an argument and they called the police, and it still wasn't a crime. So he hasn't been suspected of a crime. So if a police comes and is supposed to be having a consensual encounter, because that's what this was, a consensual encounter, and this man extended his hand, he tried to shake his hand, tried to shake the cop's hand. You can tell it was about to go bad because the cop hesitated to shake his hand, for one. For two, they were already hostile, and because he backed up and wanted to disengage with the consensual encounter, they never said he was detained. They just went in his house and dragged him out. This is kidnapping. This is kidnapping, and they're just kidnappers with police uniforms on. Imagine if they just had on all black and didn't have a badge or any Velcro strap that said police. Imagine if they didn't have that or this badge on the shoulder. If they didn't have none of that, they would just be kidnappers, which that's what they are. These cops are just kidnappers.
It's all on
The
video.
whole thing, and it's on video. So
It's all on video.
It is.
It's all on video.
It is.
Dude, that guy is out of control. I'm filing
Officer,
complaint against him. I
officer.
want him nowhere near me. That guy is crazy.
Officer.
It's just me and you, right?
Okay, yeah, I'm fine. Shh. No, he can
No.
talk. He can talk. No,
I can
not
talk
what
because
I'm
I was in
talking
the
about. You arrest
situation.
him? He recorded the whole thing. This guy is out. He can talk. No, crazy.
It's
Officer.
just me and you, right?
Okay, yeah, I'm fine. Shh. No, he can
No.
talk. He can talk. No,
I can
not
talk
what I'm
because
talking
I was.
So he just tried to chill his First Amendment and tell the kid he can't talk, and his dad's like, no, he don't. Shh. No, you don't. You can't shush anybody, officer. We have the First Amendment: freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom of religion, freedom to assemble. What's the last one? Freedom to express our grievances. Come on.
I was in the
You gonna arrest
situation.
him? He recorded the whole thing. This guy is out of
Trust me.
control.
Okay.
What's your badge? What's your name?
Step back.
I'm not.
Look. He
I'm
just
on my
touched me.
property.
Okay.
What's your badge?
Look at him. Just what is he so hot? They are so hostile for no reason. I know I keep pausing it, but it is amazing to me because they're so hostile for no reason. Nothing has happened. Nothing has happened except what they have done. What they have done.
What's your name?
Step back.
I'm not.
Look, he
I'm
just
on my
touched me. You can
property.
record all you want, but you're stepping back right now.
Hey,
Back.
hey, don't
Back.
touch me. Stop harassing me.
We're just trying to.
I'm videoing this. You can do this. Please get out of my personal space.
No.
Yes.
You're not gonna
Get out
interfere
of my
with what we're
personal
doing.
space. This is my property. Please
You're
get
not
out of
gonna
my-
interfere with an arrest.
I'm chill. I've been chill.
You can record all you want, but you're not gonna get close to it.
I'm on my property. Move out of my personal space.
I'm gonna
please.
stand right
This
here.
is my personal square. Please move.
I'm gonna stand right here.
Please move. You're in my personal space.
Well, the kid seems definitely a handful for these corrupt cops here. Did you notice how both Officer Proctor and Rodriguez tried to shut him down? Perhaps the cops, after observing Jack, must have realized that the kid was just too smart and would only stir up problems for them. However, Jack stood his ground and told the cops that he had every right to be there and told them to get away from his personal space. Even Officer Ware, with his camera blocking maneuver, failed to dissuade Jack from backing off. Jack was then approached by another officer named Thor, who asked him to identify himself, which he promptly refused and asked for the officer's badge number instead.
What's your name?
Yeah, I do not need to give you that.
Yeah, you do.
For what reason?
Don't do it.
I know. I'm involved with this. Yes, but this guy threatened me and called the cops on you. And what's your badge number?
What's your name?
What's your badge number? Badge number. That says name.
3K12.
Okay.
Now, what's your name?
I'm not making any statements.
You're not making any statements?
Nope.
Okay, I have the right to identify you. You understand that, right?
Then you can search up my face and you can search up my record.
Okay.
Okay.
You're gonna sit tight for a minute. You're not going anywhere.
I can go in my house if I
No,
want.
you
Am I detained?
You're detained. Stay back.
I'm going in my house.
Stay back.
I'm going in.
If you try and come past me, you're gonna go on the ground face first. You understand me?
Okay, and then I'm gonna file a complaint against you. Go grab your camera. Yes.
The police officers then proceeded to ask Jack about the incident.
So this cop threatened this kid about going to his own house. Imagine, you can't imagine it. How would you react in this situation? You had your parent was just dragged out, kidnapped, and you try to go back into your own house that this just happening, and they tell you if you go in your own house, I'm gonna throw you on the ground. Well, basically, I'm gonna assault you and batter you, and I'm gonna take you to jail.
Incident that had led to the whole situation, which was him riding his gas-powered bike. Maybe they were trying to intimidate him by making him aware that he was somehow involved in the situation, but Jack didn't let it affect him and promptly answered their questions without backing down.
I have 3 cops on me and I'm 15 years old. Because you guys intruded my house.
So you were the one driving up and down the street on the motorcycle?
I was on my gas bicycle.
Okay, that's a gas-powered vehicle. You have to have a driver's license.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
Not when it's 50cc and you have a permit for it.
Mm.
They threatened to beat. Did he threaten to
Yes.
beat us up or anything?
Yes.
What did he say?
He goes, that bike is illegal. I said, no, it's not. It's a 50cc bicycle and I have a permit for it. And he said, get out of the way. He was on his little road bike. He said, get out of the way or I'm going to beat your ass. So if you guys want to believe him, and we have 2 witnesses, he has 0.
Okay, calm down. Calm down. Calm down.
No, I'm pissed off because you guys just came in our house. Do you have a search warrant?
We don't need. We don't need.
Yes, you do. To
You might want to go to school and learn the law.
I already know the law.
So, told you get out of the way, or he's gonna kick your ass, beat your ass, whatever.
Yes.
Then what?
Beat my ass. And I rode my bicycle back here. He ran back with me. I closed the garage and I told my dad.
Okay.
My dad was like, "Who is this?" If anything goes farther, I'm gonna have to call the police. He walks outside to see where the guy is.
Your dad?
Mhm.
Okay.
And the guy comes out and he steps and he for instance, he walks and he goes like this. He walks right here in front of his face.
So right here or down there?
No, right down there.
Okay.
At the corner where you guys are parked down there.
Okay.
And he walks up right to his face like this. And he said, step back because you're violating his personal space, 1. And 2, if he steps one more close or he touches him, he has the right to defend himself. And that is easily the right to defend himself. So there's no reason why he says a gun is involved.
It's hard to guess if the bike Jack was riding is legal because the original video doesn't reveal it. What we do know from the video is that the bike is powered by gas, has a 50 cubic centimeter engine, and Jack has some form of permit to ride it. And if Jack was right, he is well within his rights, as in Utah it is legal to ride motorized bikes that do not exceed 50cc. Jack further explained to Officer Proctor how his neighbor tried to threaten him, and his father had no choice but to intervene. Proctor did listen to him, but struggling to outwit the kid, he decided it's way better to just stop conversing with him.
So that's what. So and then what happened after that? After separated or?
We walked back inside, and yeah. And now you guys are here coming in the house, and I don't know why he's detained. I don't know why he's getting arrested. Okay, and I'm filing a what's called on him because he touched me when I did nothing.
Okay. Do you want to have a actual conversation?
Where's he going?
To Summit County Jail.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm more willing to talk to you, but I'm not going to play the stupid games. Okay.
You kind of are. Okay,
we're done.
Okay.
Tell you what, you can go in the house, you can do whatever.
Yeah. So he trying to, when they try to play you and try to gaslight you. So he's saying, do you want to have a conversation? They never wanted to have a conversation. If they wanted to have a conversation, they wouldn't have kidnapped his father and threatened to assault him and take him with him. Like, what do you mean have a conversation? And then you want to say he doesn't want to play these games. No games were being played. None of this is the game. Being kidnapped out of your own house and then being threatened for going into your house. None of that is a game. So I don't know what they're talking about.
We're done with you guys. You guys aren't being cooperative. We'll leave it at that.
We're being cooperative. We just told you.
You're just being mouthy.
After a while, the officers discovered that Franchek actually had a...
So they call being mouthy standing up for yourself. So if you stand up for yourself, they call you being mouthy. And they feel like since he's a kid, and it's not since he's a kid. They feel like any person who stands up for themselves and don't let these cops just violate them, that they're being mouthy.
permit to carry a concealed gun. So he was allowed to have a gun as long as he didn't show it openly, and nobody claimed he did. This meant the police couldn't charge him with anything.
Well, if he didn't threaten anyone with it, there's no...
No, it was just a concern for me.
Oh, no, absolutely. But I don't think there's any reason to try to write a warrant to get in the house.
No. I'll just refer to the juvenile courts. If they want to screen him for charges, great. I'm going to arrest him for failure to obey a lawful command, resisting, disorderly.
Yeah, disorders, that's good because he got her attention too.
Yeah.
Realizing how they had misinterpreted the entire situation and there was not really a crime committed, the officers had no choice but to cook up a story.
This is going to turn into something. He's going to
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to do the sub on how the kid was being how I checked his cuffs. Like, his cuffs were tight. He has big wrists. You haven't clicked like once or twice in. You can't click them anymore. What do you do?
Right.
What else do you do?
Oh, okay.
Anyway, yeah, take him, and then what are you going to do? Resisting, disorderly.
Failure to identify.
Failure to...
And then I'm going to look up me having a handgun in a dispute. It might not fly. It might fly. I don't know.
We never found a gun. We got the witness statement.
Right.
But look that up if you want.
Yeah, I'll look it up. It's cops like these that sully the name of the entire police force. Wouldn't you agree, folks? Franchek was booked into the Summit County Jail on charges of failure to stop at the command of a law enforcement officer, disorderly conduct, refusal to comply with a police order, and failure to disclose identity. The cops were almost able to carry out their plans smoothly, but they didn't get away with it. After the video went viral and gained public attention, an internal affairs investigation took place, and the 3 cops were found guilty of a total of 9 violations.
Of course.
Officer Rodriguez was charged with 5 violations, which included using a taser on Franchek. Officer Thor was found guilty of 3 violations, where of 1, and they were fired from their positions, all thanks to Jack's video that served as a key piece of evidence. Later, his father filed an ongoing lawsuit against the Park City officers, seeking over $1 million in compensation.
Yep.
As for Jack, he put his understanding of constitutional rights to good use and aims to become a civil rights attorney to ensure that in the future, cops don't ever abuse citizens like they did. Way to go, kid.
They don't even know they gave that kid a purpose in life, and his the kid's purpose in life is to fight tyranny. Because and he knows firsthand he's gonna have that story is gonna carry throughout his entire career. But hey, why did you get into this? Because one day the cops kidnapped my father and threatened me. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna wrap up this stream. I appreciate everybody for stopping by and checking it out. Hopefully it was played through pretty good. I know the video may have been lagging in some parts. I have to work on finding out what was the issue with that. But still, I appreciate everybody for stopping by. And yeah, with that being said, AWB, I'm out.